this is Shel from Paper Rock Tio Studio. Today I'm sharing with you my artist trading card that I made for the ATC challenge that is mid-month over at the Pick-a-Stick challenge group that I run with my friends. That group is a Facebook group where we pick 10 prompts using prompt sticks. I call them the Sticks of Fate. And then you make an art journal page using the 10 prompts in order. And last month we decided to add an additional challenge where you make an ATC using 3 of the 10 prompts. So we pick 10 prompts, then we pick 3 out of those 10 to do an artist trading card just for something extra, and then we're giving away the artist trading cards that we make. This month is Sherry's month, but I still wanted to make a card because it's just so funny. The prompts are just so funny. I had to make a card. So this is my take on the challenge. I'm sure you'll be seeing lots of something similar to this, but I had this little I have this notepad on my desk to take notes. It's something that a friend gave to me several years ago, and it's a cartoon by the artist Boynton, and he draws these funny animals with their funny looks on their face, and this dog has this look. I don't know if he's startled or I don't know. It's a funny look, and I kept seeing it on my desk, and I wanted to use it on my ATC. So I can see that I'm a bit behind here in explaining. The first thing I did was to use a photo that I printed off the internet of a little girl holding a piece of corn. I sealed up that photo with some matte medium, and then I cut it out, and I took off the corn so that she could be holding the little dog. Then I sealed up the dog image, cut that out, and I'm going to add that as well. And now I'm making the background of the card. This is a 3.5 by 2.5 piece of 140-pound cold press watercolor paper, and I'm using the smoother side of the paper. And I'm using some gelatos to make a girly colored background on it. So then I'm going to collage on the little girl and her little hands holding the dog. Because really, what could be more perfect, you know? She's holding it. It's so cute and so funny. And the dog is just looking like, what is going on here? It just makes me laugh. Maybe just me, but anyway, so I'm using Liquitex liquid matte medium to do all this collaging. I'm gluing her little hands on first onto the dog before I collage it on, because trying to do the two different pieces seemed more difficult, so I glued them together before I stuck them on the card. Also, the gelato is water soluble, so it's smearing around a bit, so I have to keep heat setting everything, and I did end up sealing it completely with the matte medium. Then now I've got my little illustration pins. These are the Faber-Castell Artist Pet pins, and there's extra small, small, chisel, brush, all of them in that set. I use these for when I do illustrations. And I'm turning the photo into kind of an illustration. You know, back in the day, they used to take black and white pictures and then color them after the fact. So I'm kind of doing that, but I'm also adding illustration lines to make it look more like an illustration. You can still tell it's a photo. And then, of course, I'm adding fairy wings on the dog because, of course, the little girl would want it to be a fairy dog because little girls like fairies, right? So it's a fairy dog. A very disgruntled one. And, of course, I don't like things without borders, so I'm edging the edge with watering can colored archival ink. And then drawing in some details on the wings to make them look kind of like dragonfly wings is what I was going for, which I think is what fairies have. I don't really know. They could have butterfly wings, or I don't know. I've never actually seen one, but I believe in them. And then I was going to seal everything in, but I did not allow the ink to dry. Remember how we've talked about this many times. If you are using this these pit pens, which is what I like because they are not water soluble. You have a few seconds before they're permanent, but once they dry, they're permanent. What I did not do, since that's a non-porous surface after I've sealed it several times with the liquid matte medium, I didn't allow it to dry enough. And so when I went to put that extra layer of medium over it, I smeared it. But luckily, I had my wet wipe right there and I could just wipe it right off, reline it, and reseal it using the heat tool this time to make sure everything was dry. So I left that in. I mean, I could have taken that out. Oh no, I'm perfect. I never make mistakes. But that's not true. Everyone makes mistakes. And so I left it in there so you could see how I smeared that black all over that poor little girl's face. But I was able to repair it. Don't panic. Just wipe it off and redo it. So now I'm using the taupe colored pit pen and I'm going around the edges and blending it with my finger to add shadows and to blend in the images into the background so they don't just look like they're stuck on there, because otherwise they really do. And then I'm coloring the photo and I'm making it more like those old time photos that you would see where they added the color after the fact. I actually have a few of those of my grandmother and my aunts and uncles and mother that were taken, I think as their senior pictures maybe, in their tinted photos like that. It's a very different look. It's kind of cool. They make the cheeks very pink and the lips very pink, and I guess it just depended on who was coloring it as to how it came out, but it's kind of cool. I think that we should bring that back. I'm sure someone's still doing it, tinting photos, I'm sure. I just don't know who, but it would be an artistic art form to do, I'm sure. Maybe I'll go look for it afterwards, although I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments below. Speaking of the comments below, of course, I must say, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment so I know you're here. Subscribe if you haven't already. And share it on Pinterest or Facebook or whatever if you want to, Instagram. Those things help Facebook understand that I'm making something that people value, and they will recommend it to someone else who might be looking at something that's similar, and then when they're done, they're like, oh, well, here's one from Shel C that's kind of like that. Do you want to watch it? And then the person clicks on it, and then that helps my channel grow. It helps people find me. It helps people subscribe more, comment more, which is just more and more and more. It's better, better, better. And we're so close to 3,000. And you know what happens at 3,000? There's always giveaways on those big milestones. So I'm sure there will be one, although I don't know exactly what it is. So I'm also shadowing in parts of the little doggy too, even though it's already a pre-colored image. Looks better if you shadow it. Sorry, Boynton. Looks better if you shadow it. So I did, and then I'm coloring in the wings. These pens are Faber-Castell Pit Artist brush pens, come in a set like that. As you can see, there's a lot of colors. I will link them below so that you can find them on Amazon. Also, the illustration pens and the medium that I used. Whatever else I think about. The Posca pen I'm going to use. So if you want to use these products, you can find them easily. Didn't use very much on this one, so it won't take me very long to do that. Sorry. So there's my fine tip white. I like to make highlights with my fine tip white pen when I'm done coloring on pretty much everything. So I also put some iridescent glitter glue on the wings because I think fairy wings sparkle and they are iridescent. Certainly dragonfly wings are, so I did have to add a little bit of bling. Gotta do it. So I hope you like this little artist trading card. I hope that you'll come join us at Pick a Stick Challenge. I'll put the link in the description box below so you can find it easily. It's a Facebook group, and you can come over there and paste and put pictures of what you make so that everyone can see. that was my Tim Holtz chat stickers. And I found one that says true love because a little girl and her fairy dog. True love right there. And I add a little heart and then put the lid to my box right into it. Had to wipe it off. So that's it for me, and here come your close ups. Thanks. Bye bye.